He conquered the world before 33. A young king stood in dust and blood. Men screamed. Horses crashed. Arrows fell like rain. And in the middle of it, Alexander rode straight at an empire. He was born in Macedon in 356 BC. His father, Philip II, was a brutal king. His mother, Olympias, filled his head with bigger thoughts. She told him he was not like other boys, not just born to rule, born for greatness, maybe even born from Zeus himself. That idea sank deep. As a child, Alexander was wild, proud, and hard to control. Then one day, a huge black horse was brought in. Nobody could ride it. The animal kicked, bit, and terrified everyone. But Alexander saw something the others missed. The horse was afraid of its own shadow, so he turned it toward the sun, climbed on, and broke it. His father looked at him and said, "My son, seek thee out a kingdom equal to and worthy of thyself, for Macedon is too little for thee." That was not just praise. It was a spark. Alexander grew up on Homer and war. Aristotle taught him how to think, how to speak, how to dream big. But books were never enough. He wanted glory, fast, total, endless. Then Philip was murdered. The crown fell onto Alexander's head when he was just 20, and the world around him smelled weakness. Greek cities began to rebel. Rivals circled, enemies waited for the boy king to fail. But Alexander moved first. Fast, hard. He crushed revolt after revolt. At Thebes, he made one terrible example. The city was destroyed. Thousands were killed or sold. Greece looked at the smoke and understood. He was young, but he was not weak. Then he turned east. Persia was the biggest power on earth. Richer than anything Alexander had ever seen. Bigger armies, more land, more gold, more men, and ruled by King Darius III. Alexander crossed into Asia with a force far smaller than Persia's. It should have been suicide, but he kept winning. At the Granicus River, he charged through water and steel. At Issus, he smashed Darius's army so hard, the Persian king ran, leaving his own family behind. Alexander had taken them captive, yet he treated them with regal courtesy. He offered mercy where it advanced his aims. He wielded terror when it furthered his designs. He understood both instruments intimately. The victories made him larger in his own mind. Not just king, chosen. At Tyre, a city sat on an island and refused to open its gates. Most men would have walked away. Alexander did not. He built a road through the sea, stone by stone, month after month. Then he stormed the city. The slaughter was savage. The message was clear. No wall, no water, no god could stop him. Then Egypt bowed without a fight. There, everything changed. The priests welcomed him. The crowds praised him. In the desert, at the Oracle of Siwa, he asked questions we will never fully know. But when he returned, something had hardened inside him. He did not act like a man who had been blessed. He acted like a man who had been confirmed, a son of Zeus, a living god. That belief made him brighter and darker. He kept going deeper into Persia, deeper into danger. At Gaugamela, he faced Darius again in the battle that would decide everything. The Persian army spread wide across the plain. Chariots, cavalry, endless ranks. Alexander saw the gap. Then he drove at it like a spear. The line broke. Darius fled. Again, Babylon fell. Then Susa, then Persepolis, the shining heart of Persia. Alexander walked through halls packed with gold and history and the pride of kings. Then the palace burned. Some said it was revenge for old Persian crimes. Some said it was drunken rage. Either way, the flames rose high into the night, and with them, a piece of Alexander changed. He was no longer just defeating Persia, he was replacing it. The conquest has a hunger. The more he won, the more he needed. Every map edge mocked him. Every new land whispered one word: more. He chased Darius into the east, but found him dying, betrayed by his own men. Alexander covered the fallen king with his cloak. A strange act. Respect for a defeated enemy. Or respect for the only man who had truly matched the size of his dream. Now, there was no one left above him. That was the danger. At first, his men loved him because he fought beside them, ate with them, bled with them, but success pulled him away. He began to wear Persian dress. He demanded deeper bows. He wanted old friends to honor him like a god king. Some obeyed, some did not. Then came the pivot. The man closest to him began to disappear behind the crown. At a drunken feast, one of his oldest generals, Clitus the Black, spoke out. Clitus had once saved Alexander's life, but that night he accused him of becoming soft, proud, and too Persian. He mocked the idea that Alexander was divine. Alexander exploded. wine, rage, shame, noise. He grabbed a spear and killed him. The room went silent. The conqueror of nations stood over the body of a friend. For a moment, all his glory looked small. He wept. He locked himself away. He cursed what he had done. But the machine of conquest did not stop. It never stopped. He pushed into India, where the rivers were huge and the air felt heavy and wet. There, at the Hydaspes River, he faced King Porus and war elephants, massive beasts, screaming men, mud, thunder, a battlefield from a nightmare. Alexander won again. Of course he did, but this time his army broke inside. His soldiers had marched for years, through deserts, mountains, blood, and endless rain. They were done. When Alexander begged them to go farther, they refused. For the first time, the world did not say yes to him. It said no. That may have hurt more than any wound. So he turned back. The return was brutal. Men died in the Gedrosian desert under a white, killing sun. Lips cracked. Feet bled. Water vanished. Greatness looked less like triumph now, and more like a curse dragging bones across sand. Then came Babylon. Alexander planned more wars, Arabia next, maybe farther, always farther. But his body at last did what no army could. It failed. He fell sick after days of fever. The strongest man in the world could no longer stand. His voice weakened. His generals gathered around his bed, waiting for one last command. When asked who should inherit his empire, tradition says he answered, to the strongest. Then he died. He was 32, the man who had crossed continents. The king who had never learned how to stop, the warrior who may have believed he was a god. But gods do not die in bed, burning with fever, while their empire waits outside the door. After him, his empire shattered. His generals tore it apart. The dream did not survive the dreamer, and yet his name did. Alexander. Even now, it feels too big for one life. A boy told he was special, a man terrified of being small. He conquered cities, kings, deserts, and armies. But in the end, the one thing he could not conquer was the hunger inside him. That is what made him great and what destroyed him. If you want more stories like this, like, comment, share, and subscribe.